Hi, everyone, and welcome to our first real true online session. And so for this week, we're going to dive a little bit further into the things we need to think about when we're building unit plans. And again, as a reminder, when we're building unit plans, it's similar to how we think about what we do in our lesson plans, but also we have that extra piece of really trying to think about how does this all to connect to larger concepts, ideas, what's happening through it this semester. And then how do we actually create those connections from one lesson to another? And so we're going to do this for a couple of different sections here. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to start off. So the last time we met together, we talked a bunch about these ideas of the big idea, essentially. What is that overarching idea that we have for our unit plan? And so as we follow and think about a true universal design or backwards design connection to the work that we're doing, now what we want to do is we really want to know what it is that we want our students to know. And we're going to start off by doing that with thinking about questions. So I have some kind of little activities throughout to think about, what does it mean to be an essential question? So we're going to take a look at essential questions. I'm going to ask you to kind of give your own thoughts when you go through about some essential questions that exist in a topic that's outside of ours. And then I'm going to ask you in Slack to go through and write down, what do you think your essential questions would be for this dream unit of yours? So that's task number one. The second task is broken up into two pieces, and that's for us starting to think about, well, what are the demands that are put on our students? And I'm sure that you all have had some time to think about both cognitive demands and language demands. And so part of this might be a little bit of a refresher, where I'm going to ask you to look at the Hess cognitive rigor matrix, to look at language demand or look at cognitive demand. And then I'm going to ask you to also take a look at the WIDA can-do key uses to kind of think about what are the language demands. You're going to look at some examples from some previous units that have been posted, so that you can look at how they look at unit as cognitive demand and language demand. And then I'm going to ask you to write some notes in Slack about your thoughts about what you've noticed and what you wonder. And my goal is to hope that you can really start using those ideas in that time in those sections and look at what other people have written in Slack, so that we can start putting together those sections in our unit plan. As always, please reach out to me, send me a direct message if you have any questions or want to talk about it. We might be getting to the point where you want to set up a separate Zoom or meet on campus or something like that to start to think about where this is going and what we're doing, keeping in mind that we're moving kind of at this very big level of unit plans. Eventually, soon, we're going to be getting into what are these lesson plans that we're going to be doing in our internships. Anyway, thank you all so much for diving into this, and let me know if you have any questions.